you know what I'm saying, laid back, but it's time to pop it, you know what I mean? Time to give me my flowers, you know what I mean? I don't want them later on when I ain't here.
God damn it,
you know what I mean? I want them right now, so.
Give me flowers.
Take a minute, rest in peace.
Migos, the tragic ending of hip-hop group culture. Culture 1, Culture 2, Culture 3. Today's feature is a group that played a huge role in dictating Black American culture for groups, Southern acts, the 2010s, and had the chance to be the face of the 2020s as far as the hip-hop group being the last of their kind with longevity, influence, and success to back them. But that all ended mid-2022 when rumors started to spread that Offset was either being cut from or leaving the group because of alleged relations with group member Quavo's ex-girlfriend. By October 2022, the trio became just Quavo and Takeoff, moving forward to release an album together October 7, 2022. The hip-hop group is one we've seen all the time disband as success starts to creep in and fans begin to request more from an individual or few individuals in the group, and with social media giving fans the power to directly, consistently, and all at one time put in those requests, the hip-hop group has become extinct. Migos were the last of that breed, and them being all family, it made it easy for them to lose one member for a while and he returned, which many fans hope to happen again with Offset at some point, being welcomed back into the fold, and the group continue to make hits, set the trend, and influence culture. Hopes that will never be fulfilled as of November 1st, 2022, when the coolest, arguably the best as far as a rapper in the group Takeoff, was shot and killed at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. Video of the incident has been all around the internet showing Quavo, who was at the event, screaming in agony to have lost not only his groupmate and counterpart to his future as a duo, but his actual nephew that's been along with him for the ride since literally the beginning. Make matters worse, it happened during a situation I know Quavo will forever blame himself for not handling a better way so that all the people he came with, including his nephew Takeoff, walk away peacefully and unharmed. Such was not the case. Takeoff's life was cut short at just 28 years old, leaving Quavo to now stand alone as the last official Migo, since it's not quite sure if he and Offset will reunite, and even if they do, what will that look like and sound like without Takeoff? How will fans react and feel about them only getting back together because Takeoff is not here? A business move with the hip-hop world focusing on both their next moves? A genuine tribute to their late friend, family, and groupmate? Or are fans just as heartbroken and won't allow themselves to care at all without the three of them being there and whole again? Whatever the case, with the death of Takeoff, the Migos are officially over, and what they represented for the culture will move forward only in memory. They could have been the biggest hip-hop group of all time, if not for these reasons. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. You can also send a super thanks by clicking the button below. Enjoy the video. Migos were a three-man rap group from Lawrenceville, Georgia, whose upbringing were unlike any other. Quavo and Takeoff were blood family, Quavo being the uncle to Takeoff, separated by 3 years. Offset was Quavo's distant cousin, or close enough that they referred to one another as that. At least it's what they presented themselves as to the world. Either way, the trio grew up together and since day one knew they wanted to be a part of hip-hop culture. As everyone else in Black America, they were heavily influenced by acts to come before them, specifically Southern acts like Outkast, Gucci Mane, and Lil Wayne. In an early interview, Quavo admits that they didn't grow up in rough streets and had to struggle to make it out, but that the suburbs they lived in was middle class and didn't stop them from dreaming of becoming superstars in the rap game. A dream that came true after years of polishing their craft, and finally, they, at one point, were the culture. Stunt number 1, label issues. Up until this year, for the most part, Migos have been able to stick together for the entire 2010s where they had most their success. Their rise was typical of rap acts in that things didn't begin easy for them as they had to pave their way and play the waiting game like everyone else. Coming together in 2008 when they called themselves Polo Boys, they didn't release their first project together until 2011, including a name change to Migos. Another mixtape came in 2012 before they received their big break 2013. Summer that year, after signing to the QC label, they released the song Versace, produced by Zaytoven, and it became a top 100 hit. The biggest upcoming rapper in the game by then was Drake, who also happened to be friends with QC label head Coach K, liked the song so much that he added a verse to it and began to even perform it. Anything he touched at the time went up, and this was no different. The song blew up on the charts and took Migos to another level, leading into their YRN mixtape and later their debut album in 2015. The album wasn't received well, but between them as artists and QC the label, they had enough connections to give it another shot, and 2 years later, 2017, they released their first #1 album, one many call a hip-hop classic, Culture. Almost every song was a hit on either the charts, social media, or the streets and nightclubs. The biggest was Bad and Bougie, that became a culturally iconic song, famously without Takeoff because he didn't have a verse ready to make the cut. Quavo admits he himself almost was left off Bad and Bougie as it was an Offset idea along with Lil Uzi Vert. Migos followed that album with an even bigger one, Culture 2, 2018, another #1 and their best selling to date. Fast forward, Culture 3 drops 2021, and the steam had lost energy as problems between Offset and the label came about in 2022 as he attempts to branch off into a solo career. Twitter jabs between he and the label, while behind the scenes real lawsuits were in place. Supposedly, there was a dispute 2021 that was settled by Offset paying for his ability to freely make solo music. Because of this ongoing dispute, Offset left Migos to handle that business and broke up the group initially. Stunt number 2, issues between Quavo and Offset. In 2019, Migos rapper Quavo began a relationship with budding rapper Saweetie, which lasted a few years. The two broke up by early 2021 because of Quavo's infidelity allegedly. 2022 rolls around and rumors of groupmate Offset and Saweetie having relations either while she and Quavo dated or sometime after the breakup. These rumors were all but confirmed when it was announced Offset was no longer a Migo. Recently, a song by Takeoff and Quavo called Messy dropped, where Quavo alluded to her cheating with Offset behind his back, or at least that's what the blogs believe, to which hasn't been denied by Quavo. For this reason, he and Offset will probably never see eye to eye, and one of the biggest reasons the group broke up. Stunt number 3, the death of Takeoff. As already pointed out, as of this video, Takeoff is no longer with us. He was shot and killed around 3 a.m. November 1st, seemingly caught in the crossfire and just wrong place, wrong time, as bullets flew between two men yet to be identified. Of course, the internet has done its best to solve this case in love for Takeoff, who by all accounts was the coolest in the room, but police have yet to make groundbreaking statements or arrest of any kind. You could just tell that Takeoff was, as they say, never with a history of beef, always low-key, never an attention seeker, just stayed loyal to who was loyal to him and played his position. It's sad he was the person killed that fateful night. It's sad anyone was harmed and shines a light on the part of black culture that cannot evolve and is only popular in that small section of black people, where one person somehow gets fame and money and comes back to the hood to shine on his people and for them to hold him up as sort of king because he has what they all wanted growing up. Why are millionaires who've had worldwide success still partaking in hood activities? When did that ever become the thing to do? No true security except family members and friends who haven't studied the art of shooting, aren't protected in armor or by law to stand and take a bullet as well as accurately deliver a bullet on your behalf. So bullets end up flying wildly and it's always the innocent bystander, the coolest in the room shot and most likely killed by the hand of his own kind. Then we act like we're so shocked and sad. But accountability has to take place as Black people. Was that dice game even worth it? Do we always have to bring guns to feel strong, or can we argue or even fight to settle a disagreement without somebody being killed, and innocent at that? At the same time, this is the music unfortunately the Migos and all of rap music promotes. Shining on their own people, which creates jealousy, which creates acts of violence and unsafe environments. No snitching and no security, which don't even make sense outside of hip-hop, street, Black culture. As a millionaire, why wouldn't I be with security, who are able to de-escalate tense situations and get me and mine out safely? Or able to end you legally and hit you as the intended target only? Not arguing over simple things only for me to mutter disrespect as I leave, which causes violence to start and weak-minded individuals to think of pulling a gun. Takeoff died tragically, and he was a good one. His death officially ended the Migos forever. All in all, I don't know where Quavo goes from here as a rapper. What can he rap about? The same arrogance and violence that got his nephew killed under his watch? The ignorance and temperament that incited a situation that a real leader could have said, "Hey, look, man, it's all good. We all here together. We all got love for one another. Let's leave and be cool." Dap everyone on both sides and smoothly walk away. Not you're gonna hurt someone and acting like the tough guy you never was. Does he and Offset get back together now? It would seem disingenuous and forced and still not the same without Takeoff. Migos were a legendary group, but sadly, it's all over. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Condolences to his family. Condolences to Quavo, Offset, QC. Salute, and I'm out.